7 a.m. I think, let me see, 6:54. Perfect timing. I had two videos that were entitled Earning the Hate. And it had to do with an officer who would not identify himself. He was rude, verbally aggressive, unprofessional, and to me it was disgusting behavior from any officer. All I did was walk into the lobby with a camera, and he acted like a fool, like a complete fool. So I requested to talk to the chief. I can't remember her name, but anyway, finally, I think it was his name was Captain Taylor came, which was part 2 of Earning the Hate, where I complained to him about it. And he said, well, you know, you have a backpack. Like that made me not be able to get ID or anything like that. So I'm here at shift change, and I'm going to go in and finally make the complaint. I do make some complaints via telephone, and I have found them to be just as effective as going and doing it in writing. But what I did do then was I did not want to come back to Franklin at all. And I knew, since his immediate supervisor already defended him, which to me, I'm going to complain about him too. I knew it wasn't going to do any good. But what I did was I emailed all of the aldermen in Franklin, Tennessee, maybe the mayor, but I'm not sure about that one. And I emailed the chief. Seems like her name is Deborah something, but I cannot remember her name. Anyway, I emailed her and asked her to email me back, gave a phone number for her to call so I could discuss with her about the videos. I gave links to the videos and said that I wanted to make a complaint. And I never heard anything back from her. So that shows that it stems from the top. What is it? The head of the fish, it rots from the top, from the head. Okay, a fish rots from the head down, right? Isn't that it? I don't know. I've only heard that in the last year or two, so I don't have it down pat. But anyway, before I go in, since it's shift change, I'm going to see if they come in and out, just to make them a little uncomfortable. I'm so glad to be back to make this complaint. It's far away from home, but while I'm waiting to see if any come in and out, I want to tell you about Franklin. It is in Williamson County, Tennessee. It is incredibly beautiful. All of Tennessee is beautiful, rolling hills, green, everything. But it is like equine ranches, homes that have a name. The most incredible places that very wealthy people live. And Franklin is an extremely historic part of Tennessee, especially with the Civil War and all of that. But the history here is unbelievable. The day that I came, I had an agenda I had out of all these different historic places I was going to go. I've had a few people say that they like it when I cover some of the Civil War things that I find, monuments and things. So I was going to make a special video opposite of the police officers of just some of the history that is here. And I just had to leave. I just had to leave. I think that guy didn't want to come out because I was here. And that one didn't want to come in because I was here. They must have a separate exit. I'm just assuming since it's 7 in the morning that that's probably an employee is the only reason why I'm filming like this. I don't normally want to make people uncomfortable, but I feel very comfortable doing that today. They sure made me uncomfortable. Hi. Here's a motorcycle cop. Well, unless it's a guy just leaving on a motorcycle. Yeah. That's cool looking. .284 BMP, it looks like. I hope that that guy's an actual part of the police department, because I hate making him uncomfortable if he is not involved. But if they're letting him in that gate, I would assume he has to be part of the police department. And I see no other reason why the other guy's out here. You just wouldn't believe how much this guy irritated me. It was like he needed anger management. I really felt like that's what he needed, was anger management class. And how to deal with the public, in general. But I'll tell you, if you can ever afford to live in Franklin, Tennessee, it is one beautiful, beautiful place to live. It's incredible. $7:02. I wonder if their lobby is open at 7 or at 8. I'm going to go ahead and check, and if they're not open until 8, then I'll come back out here and just film them come in and out. Give me a second. I'm going to fix my other camera. Get ready. And then try to synchronize them. Okay, it looked pretty synced. Zoom in a little bit on that. Okay. Alright. I'm sorry I bounced so much. I wish I had better posture. But part of it is the stabilizer that I got is not a good stabilizer. At all. I did do, I think this is Williamson County. I did do an audit at the Sheriff's Department, and they did a great pass. They never said a word to me. I had, when I came here, I stopped there first, and they were terrific. I was really impressed. If y'all haven't seen the 2 videos, Earning the Hate, you've got to watch them. It just blew me away. Hybrid vehicle parking. that's a sign of being in Franklin, where a lot more people can afford to have one. I guess that's for bicycles. That's pretty neat. One problem I have auditing this place is everything is mirrored. Everything is mirrored. So it's almost impossible to not get my own reflection. Sorry, I was trying to catch that bird. It was like he was watching me and I was watching him. But it's an impressive looking building, so I am going to take the time to walk away from it so you can see the entire front of it, because it's a pretty building. But I wouldn't expect anything less here. Oh, Leonard, if you're watching, or Nikes. See those neat light fixtures or poles that they have. I mean, it's just a beautiful place here. It's just a wealthy area and just beautiful. If you ever get a chance to come, I recommend it, unless you go in the police department. Isn't that lovely? Wish the wind was blowing a little bit more. So, we have the United States flag, the Tennessee flag, and maybe that is their county flag, city flag, Franklin, maybe. Okay, they open at 8 a.m. Hi. Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Can I get your name and employee number?
My employee number?
Yeah, or badge number, whichever.
Badge
It depends on where you are.
216.
216, and Officer
Dave Mullins.
Mullins. Nice to meet you.
What's up?
I would like to get a couple complaint forms and speak to a supervisor.
Complaint forms and speak to a supervisor. Well,
Please.
We don't have forms per se. We have an online form if you want to.
Surely, could you print it off?
It's not that kind of form, but you can talk to a supervisor and
Okay.
like that way. It's not required if you put it on a form.
Okay, but it would be an official complaint if I speak it out to you.
Yeah.
It will go in their file and be official, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Every complaint's investigated.
Okay, great. It's nice to meet you. Man, you have a ton of equipment.
Just what they tell them to carry.
Oh, I understand. That's a lot.
Any officer in the PD, if you could come to the lobby, open the front lobby door, let me in.
Thank you for letting me in early. I saw it open today, and I was just going to wait around for another hour if I had to.
Sure.
I got here a little bit earlier than I anticipated, so I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, you know, the doors don't open actually until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I just read right there.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I appreciate you,
Sure.
Coming and talking to me earlier.
They're automated, so, 8 o'clock, the locks
Gotcha.
come unlocked. Sorry, burp. Coffee.
Oh, no problem. I need mine. I haven't had mine yet. I'm
Hey,
gonna.
thanks, Adam. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You want to step over here, man?
Sure.
We don't have any sections or anything. And I am a day shift supervisor.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
202 Franklin, could you start me a call for citizen complaint interlock?
Let me try to. Just so,
If you want, we have statement forms that you could write what you'd like to on there.
I'll tell you what, since this is official, right, this will go in their file, what I'm telling you.
Everything,
This video will also be public, so you could refer to it if anything was left out.
okay.
Okay?
Do you want to use the form, or did you want to just?
No, if I just tell you, then it's
Okay.
it's that much of a time saver.
All right.
As long as it still accomplishes the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
You might have to make notes.
Sure, you take your time. And anything you need me to slow down or repeat, just let me know.
Let's just start with your name.
Okay, you can call me Reba. That's not my actual name, but I go by Reba.
You go by Reba.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give any more personal information out, but.
Okay.
Okay, the videos of the interactions that happened, you can find them on YouTube. I'll let you fill that out.
Okay. And this
I'm
is,
not white.
This is in Franklin?
I'm not white.
Okay.
I might look white, but I'm not. You can put other.
Other.
Uh-huh. Okay. On YouTube, my YouTube channel is 51-50, a space, and then 5-0. There were two separate videos. The first one was called Franklin PD Earning the Hate. It might not be verbatim exact words, but you'll find it very easily that way
Okay.
on YouTube. If you just do a YouTube search, even if you don't go to the 51550.
Well, it wouldn't be me, it would be somebody with the Office of Professional Standards.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
All we do, as a supervisor, all we do is we take the information and then we hand it off to the Office of Professional Standards, and then they do any kind of investigations or anything.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. It's been probably, how long do you keep like body camera footage? If I
well, we've
wanted
only
to,
had body cameras for a very short time now, so.
but how long do you keep it?
Well, it depends. If it's non-evidentiary, which means, just like the camera comes on, because the cameras can be activated automatically by themselves.
What
means-
causes them to automatically?
Well,
what was your-
somebody's cleaning their gun or something. When the gun is removed a certain distance out of the holster, it automatically activates all the cameras within the area.
Otherwise, do you manually turn it on?
You
when
manually turn it on.
do you
turn on-
manually turn it off ever? It
Yeah,
just-
you have to turn it off eventually. I mean, because there's things that we're not allowed to video.
Right.
And then there's other things that, like when I go to the bathroom.
Of course,
I have to
of
shut the
course.
camera off,
Yeah, I
right?
got you there. Okay.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of,
when I came before, I turned my camera off because I used your restroom.
yeah,
So,
there's a
yeah,
lot of different reasons
Yeah.
to shut the camera off.
I got you. I just didn't know how yours worked.
Well-
What brand is yours?
These
Axon?
these are Axons.
Are they Axon 2 or just Axon? Do you know?
I think they're the body too. I'm not sure.
Body two. Okay.
We've only had them for a short time.
You
And
like
it's
them?
different for different, yeah, kind of. The sound quality isn't the greatest. But
Is it distance or distortion?
it's just the problems that you have with very, very small microphones.
Where,
So
is the
anything along
microphone on that or like, see,
No, it's
like,
it's part of the camera.
like Tennessee Highway Patrol, they don't have body cameras, but they do have dash cams, but
Yeah.
something on their person records their audio.
Yeah, they've got a little box that they wear on their belt that, it's the microphone for the
Yeah.
car camera and everything.
Yeah, so I was considering, because having a setup and everything, I don't know why it's looking distorted. It's blurred.
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, I was thinking about actually getting one, but I wanted to get references from police officers of which ones worked best.
This is one I've ever had because we just got them recently, so
Okay.
I can't advise you on what's good and what's not.
Well, your advice, you already did, is very important when you have an interaction with someone. Okay, the first video, Earning the Hate. The second video was the complaint. I think it was Captain Taylor. Is there Captain Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. what happened was I was taking video outside exactly as I was, not over at the gates, but just out front. I walked up the steps. I walked in the door.
Yeah.
I, right when I walked in, the lady at the window said, "May I help you?" And I said, "No, thank you, though." And then I walked toward her, and I said, "Do you have a restroom I could use?" She said, "Sure, it's right over there." So I went in and I used the restroom. The second I walked out, the officer in Earning the Hate video, he's a very large man, which makes it more intimidating when someone's so large, came out and said, "Why are you videotaping?" He was verbally loud. He was verbally aggressive with me. I said, "May I have your name and badge number?" Yeah, no, he was wearing a black shirt, but it had the badge emblem embroidered into the shirt.
Okay.
So are you familiar with who I'm talking about?
We have a lot of large individuals and all of the admin people.
I would say he's probably approximately 55 and an African American man, probably about 6 feet, 6'2". He never would give me his name or his badge number.
Okay.
That's a lot of my complaint.
Okay.
Do you think you know who it is now? Because I never was able to get that information.
I would have to guess, but it ought to be something that we can, if professional standards can run down.
Okay, because I do want to get that information at the conclusion of the complaint, to find out what the guy's name was. I know it's policy if someone asks you your name and your badge number that you do that. He refused, and if you watch the video, he said, "What do you think this is?" and pointed at that. So I pointed my camera at it, and he went like that to cover up his badge so I couldn't see his embroidered badge.
Okay.
He had one of those things around your neck that holds an ID badge card, and it was flipped over. And I said, "Your ID badge is flipped over." He said, I can't remember his exact words, but it was an inadvertent thing, but he wouldn't turn it around so I could identify who he was. And I said, "What is your role here?" And he said, "What do you think this is for?" And pointed at his gun. What I almost said was to shoot people with, because that is what they're for. And then he said, "And what about this?" and pointed at his badge. And so I pointed my camera at his badge, and he went bam and covered it up so I couldn't even take a picture of the badge on his waist. It was incredibly crazy. I said, "What is your role here?" I said, "May I speak to the chief?" Is her first name Deborah? I cannot remember her name now.
Deborah Faulkner.
Faulkner, that's it. I requested, "Well, can I please speak to the chief?" He said, "You can use that phone right over there, ma'am." And I said, "I would like to talk to the chief." And he was so aggressive verbally, not physically, but with all this stuff. And he was doing like that in front of my phone, and he got his cell phone and was going like that all in my face. And I could public record request his phone, even if that's his personal phone. I know it's been too many months now, but he needs to know that if he uses that phone, that's evidentiary. I can FOIA request. And I don't think he wants that.
What's the date that this occurred?
I'm trying to think. It's been long enough that I bet I cannot get a public records request. But
this is this video?
That video right there.
And has it been weeks, months?
Months.
Months?
I would guesstimate 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah, I'm guesstimating, total guesstimation,
Okay.
because I'm not really
That's fine.
sure. And I emailed Chief Faulkner,
Okay.
and I requested that she email me, gave me her phone, and gave her my phone number to please call me regarding these videos, so I could not by phone, not by email.
Okay.
I consider that a problem from the chief of police that will not address something like that. So when he was so verbally and aggressive in that manner and scary, I thought he needed anger management, and I almost said, "You need anger management. If you're going to be in this position and work in this police department, you need anger management because something's wrong." I cannot imagine if someone just walks in the lobby, and I only had my cell phone. I didn't even have all this, and used the restroom, and he treated me that way. What would happen if you were walking down the street or got pulled over? And if he's going to act that way on camera, in front of everybody here, to someone who did nothing, what is this man going to act like when he is not being watched? Because that's what he acted like in front of everybody. It got so bad, I turned around because people were watching. I'm sure it was entertaining. But the lady, I don't know what she looks like or anything, but the lady, I said, "Could you please call a supervisor? Could you please call somebody out here?" Because he was that aggressive, not physically, but verbally aggressive. It was almost verging on 5150. And I was appalled. I was appalled by the behavior, especially Franklin. I had an agenda of what I was going to do that day, of all the historic sites that I was going to go see. But first, I wanted to go see Rutherford County Sheriff's Department, and I videoed there, and no one said a word. And then I came here and was treated that way. So as I waited, and I knew they were not going to get the chief, Captain Taylor walked by, and I said,
This is all the same day.
same day, it was the exact same time. I sat in the lobby because I was going to wait to talk to someone, and because I couldn't just let this go and it just be a video, because he needs to be held accountable for his actions. If I went and started treating him that way in public, I would be charged with disorderly conduct or anything like that he felt like trumping up on me. So Captain Taylor walked by, and I said, "Yeah, I was waiting for the chief," and he said, "Well, here, I'll take your complaint." So he brought me in this room.
Yeah.
That's the second video. I told him what happened. I said he would not ID. He covered his badge. I'd explained everything to him, and you can see on the video everything I said to him. At the time, I was wearing a backpack because I carry an extra battery. He said, "Well, you coming in the police department with a backpack?" Somehow that was some kind of justification for the way that man treated me. He did not address it. He never wrote anything down. To my knowledge, nothing was ever done about it. So my complaint is also about Captain Taylor, because if he did not file a complaint or do anything about what that other officer did, then he is completely in the wrong, and he needs to be held accountable as being his supervisor. It was appalling, and I can't wait till you see the video, because I think that you'll be amazed. Anybody would. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
I sent it to all the aldermen, and I might have sent it to the mayor, because I wanted them to see exactly what was going on here, and that if it wasn't taken care of or handled, then they needed to know about it. If Chief Faulkner is going to run a department that treats people like that walk in the door and use the restroom, then maybe that's not the right chief. Maybe the leadership isn't quality. Something's gone wrong somewhere, and something has to be fixed. There has to be accountability, because what officers do is hold citizens accountable every minute of every day. So,
Anything else on Captain Taylor or
no.
any of the prisoners?
It was his attitude. He wouldn't identify that officer. He told me the backpack story, like that justified why the officer treated me that way. So he defended everything the other officer did. And I showed him the video. So not only did I explain to him what happened, as I said, here, watch the video. So he saw the entire interaction and defended that officer. I was amazed by it. And the main reason it's taking me so long to come was because it was so upsetting. And then when the chief would not email me back or not responding to me to take my complaint or even discuss how I could make a complaint, she never responded in any way to me. So it was a failure from all the leadership, from the chief to the captain to whoever Joe Blow was that treated me that way. It was incredible. I want you, when you watch this video, to imagine
Honestly, I'm not gonna be the investigator.
Yeah, but I want you to watch it, and I want you to, okay, write down that the people who investigated, that I would like for them to look at it as if their daughter walked in with a cell phone camera, went to the restroom, and then was treated that way by that officer, and then defended by Captain Taylor that way, how they would feel. Officers should look at it that way. What's that happened to your family, you know?
All right. Is there anything else?
Oh, I have a phone number. I'm gonna turn this off. Give me just a second. No, actually, let me write it down because I'll mess up my video. Do you mind if I write it where I won't have to say it out loud?
Just right there. If you would.
Yeah.
Is there an email or something that you can be contacted
Yeah.
to for
Yes.
scheduling if they want to talk to you directly?
Sure. The phone number is new. Mine's broken, so I'm having to use someone else's number. I want to make sure I don't get that on
Is it a
video.
cell or a house number?
It's a cell phone. It's not my phone, but I will be available anytime anyone wants to call because I'm using it for at least a month.
Just so I'm reading this correctly.
Please don't say that out
Okay.
loud. Yeah, I wrote it out, the numbers, their
You
digits.
can't mute the sound or something?
No, I can't. And,
All right.
okay, the email, okay, obviously the numbers are the same as that right there. You
Okay.
see that? And that's at activist.com.
Okay. Okay.
Please watch the video. I think that everybody in this department should watch the video.
What's that digit?
8.
Okay. Let me just write this down.
Sure, write it in your own handwriting, since I wrote it a little sloppy.
And you can verify that that's what you meant.
Yes.
Okay.
But also, there's also the email address. I'll have that phone for probably at least a month. How long does it take? What do you call that? This is on internal affairs here. What's it called?
Professional standards.
Professional standards. How long do they give themselves to complete an investigation?
I can only speak about the investigations that I've been assigned.
Right?
And usually that's for a officer who's under my purview.
Uh-huh.
In those instances, usually they give me 1 to 2 weeks
Okay.
to complete my investigation. But of course, I don't know who's going to be assigned, and I don't know
Yeah.
how long, they'll be given to actually complete the process.
I completely understand. That number is going to only be for a certain one that I'm going to be using for about 1 month. But that email address is permanent.
Reachable for 1 month, you say?
Yeah, at least 1 month. Mine got damaged, so I'm using someone else's, so.
Okay, no problem. All right, so
But the
they've got-
email address is
yeah,
permanent.
they've got two contacts for
Exactly.
you and everything, so if they can't get you on the phone, then they can always send
Exactly.
you something by the email.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about it. I'm serious.
Well,
Have you heard that there was a negative YouTube video?
no, I mean.
Seriously?
The last time I heard about a negative YouTube video was about 4 years ago.
I'm surprised. Really surprised.
And I
But
wasn't,
I looked up every alderman's email address, sent it to them. I can't remember if I did the mayor or not, but I wanted them to be aware. Everyone needed to be aware of this because I thought it was heinous. I thought it was just heinous.
yeah. Well, I mean, factually, I was actually, somebody told me that somebody was videotaping the entry and exits.
Yeah.
And I was actually going out to ask what was going on, because, one of the, when they do the terrorism training, one of the precursors to an attack is very often they'll send people out to video the place that they're going to bomb or attack or something.
I understand that.
To get surveillance. And then, so just as it's reasonable for anybody outside to video,
Anything you can see from public.
Anything in public.
But the reason
It's also reasonable for us to ask what's going on.
completely,
Yeah.
and I will tell you exactly why. And the reason why I was here originally, have you heard of First Amendment auditing?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
That's exactly what I do. I also do some cop watching on the side, where I'll just come upon a traffic stop and just watch. I usually have positive experiences with officers. That was insane. Because we didn't even need to speak. I mean, he came out, when I opened the door to come out of the restroom, he came out, "Why are you videotaping?" I mean, loud. And so aggressively, I was amazed by it. And to the point where I said, "Could y'all please get somebody?" That says a lot. And because I was worried that he was going to escalate it into something physical. I didn't know what was going to happen. He was that bad. And I don't know. I was just amazed. But I'm sorry.
Just so I can encapsulate, because they have to basically codify the complaint.
I don't know what codify is. Could you explain the word?
CODIFY. They have to determine what the.
Like code it. Like code is as the root word, codify. Okay.
So.
Okay, I got it.
If reading this, and this is my interpretation, you can correct me if it's wrong.
Yeah.
But what I would codify this under would be rudeness.
Oh, yeah. Aggressiveness. He didn't touch me. He was
Well, aggressiveness can be.
verbal aggressive.
Aggressive can be a neutral word, so we don't generally codify, because
Okay.
sometimes it's right to be aggressive, sometimes it's wrong to be aggressive.
I came out of the
it's all
bathroom.
situational.
I came out of the bathroom.
Yeah, but for coding purposes, I'm
Okay.
just trying to determine what the core of the complaint is.
Okay.
And the rudeness,
Oh, God. It was unbelievable.
failure to identify.
Failure to identify, period. Captain Taylor, I felt he was rude, not in an aggressively, verbally manner, but the way he was like, "Well, you're coming here in a backpack," and his attitude. It was filmed. You can watch it. Even after I showed him the video, I thought he handled it poorly.
Okay.
And it was obviously never going to be written down.
Let me add one then, unprofessional.
Yeah, unprofessional.
Okay.
As far as the first officer, that was most unprofessional, second most unprofessional officer I've ever seen.
Okay.
Second.
So would you agree then that the core of the complaint is rudeness, failure to identify, and unprofessional behavior?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wish there was some way to put aggressive because
Well, see, the thing
he
is-
was not physically aggressive. He was verbally almost, see, abusive is
I
not the
can
correct
list- I
word.
can list aggressive, but it's generally not,
You can put it in quotation
Because-
marks.
yeah, I mean, I'm going to state that.
Okay,
State it.
okay, good.
But from the point of view of being able to classify and codify
Got it.
the actual complaint, it has to be something that the officers are
Tangible.
already directed to do or not to do.
Okay, well,
Which,
yeah, I
like for
gotcha.
instance, the officer didn't tip or something at a restaurant. It's
Yeah.
not something that, is codified that they are required to do. or
exactly, but they were required to pay.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
all
right.
right. Okay, I got you. I got you.
So I'm just trying to, because if you make it too broad, then they don't know what to look for when they're,
The only problem with that is there are so many different individual problems with these two complaints. That makes it harder to, is it codify or codify?
codify, classify, however.
Codify, but it's codified.
You gotta determine what, either what policy, law, or general order it falls under.
Okay.
And if it doesn't necessarily fall under a policy, law, or general order, then it's not really something that can be addressed. Like if you don't like, I'm trying to think of what's the craziest thing I've ever heard that somebody complained about.
Not getting enough chicken nuggets when you go to the drive-thru.
The officer wasn't the right race to make the arrest or something.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay.
No, that's just insanity.
That's-
That's just bullshit.
It's not a
Yeah.
violation, to have a black officer arrest a white person or
Exactly.
something. That's just.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so I could write that in a complaint.
Yeah.
And I would turn it over to professional investigations, but.
Gotcha. But it's not
It's
It's not
actually-
realistic.
Right.
Anyway,
Right,
but yeah. I just hate that the word aggressive can't be.
It's in there.
Okay,
It's
as long as it's there,
It's
because.
just, I'm trying to classify it based on
and-
general orders.
And I hope you realize, of course, you can't tell from video distances.
Yeah,
He was right here. He was not our distance.
yeah.
And he was covering up my camera doing that, and I mean, it was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. It really was. I hate that I didn't take the opportunity at that time to do a public record request off of his phone. Just to have, so y'all could actually see that, because he probably deleted it. It was probably his personal phone. But, as part of your investigation, I would love it if you would request that they
Again, it's
see
not
if it's possible.
It's not my investigation. It's-
Yeah, but could you put in there that he took video of me on his phone? And are there cameras in the lobby? Like if up there at the window? I bet there had to have been at least one camera watching me
The only one
to
I'm
see
aware
that I
of-
stood
the only
there.
one I'm aware of is the entry area there,
Okay.
where the phone is.
Yeah.
For after hours. That's the
Yeah.
only one I'm aware of.
Well, I went to the restroom and I held a phone, this exact phone, like this, the whole time. And that was all that happened. And I got treated that way. It was amazing. It was truly amazing.
Okay. I think I've got it. I'll have to, of course, put it in the computer and everything.
Yes,
And
yes.
honestly, you can do that yourself if you ever have a problem, you don't want to come in, or you happen to be somewhere else, like another county or another state. You can go online to the franklinTN.gov. It's the city, and you've probably seen it before, the city website.
I
And
haven't
then a
been
link
to
the
your
police.
website.
Okay.
Well-
Then a link to the police, and then under police, you'll see a list of different areas that you can click on. And one of them is, citizen concern or citizen complaint.
Is this something you would have to print out, fill out, send in, or you
It's
just fill
actually-
it out there?
It's actually all done.
Oh, okay.
You type it
I'll
in.
tell you one thing
And they
that.
can be anonymous, they can be.
Exactly,
provide your
but I'll
information.
tell you, this is the only place that I have ever been, because some places I just say, can I have a complaint form, and I don't have a complaint, but just to see how they treat you, because some people won't give you one, or will make you leave,
Well,
or
I
will
can
say,
use
no,
the
you
paper
have to tell me.
Yeah.
But y'all should have a form that somebody could fill out, that they could, so they could take it with them. But every single complaint form, and I've seen probably 15 to 20, all of them ask for all of your identifying information. Some of them even have a cover page saying that we need your name, your address, your telephone number, when all those things are not required.
No.
But it
you can
intimidates
list-
people.
You can list them,
Yeah.
if you want,
But it
it's not
gives
required.
But it gives other people the impression that they have to, and that they would be scared of retaliation.
But that's why our general order states that any supervisor can receive a complaint, and then we have to encapsulate it basically and
Yeah.
submit it. If the individual does not want to submit a written complaint, and written doesn't have to be on the online version, it can be a letter to the department.
That's great.
Any form that comes in, once it's received,
It's treated the
it's
same.
turned up, yeah, it's the first supervisor that comes into contact, whether it's opening the letter or whatever, is responsible for inputting it into the computer system and then turning that over to the Office of Professional Standards. And then Professional Standards handles the assignment of investigators, the investigations themselves, and whatever closure may result as a result of the investigation.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry, I thought about it. Okay, say that at the end of the investigation, I get a call and say, okay, yes, he did not identify himself. Do you reveal the outcome, say if he was found to be wrong?
I couldn't say because.
Not this instant, in any instance.
Well, I can only talk from my experience.
Okay.
Because I'm only assigned investigations of people who work for me.
Right.
If somebody doesn't work for me, I don't know how those investigations are closed. I know that from my individual officers, if I conduct the investigation and then I turn in my findings, I will get back something from Professional Standards directing me to take some action, you know, retraining, counseling, whatever that may be. And
right.
and then I have to go in, after I have done that, and it's directed from the Office of the Chief, I have to go back in after that at some future time, once I can get with the officer and do whatever is done, or if there's a class that he's required to go to,
Yeah.
then I go in and I update that I have completed that, the officer has completed, and then I sign off that the actions are complete. So I don't know what else occurs outside my purview. I can only speak to my own professional experience.
I think this is a question you can answer, is say if you were the one investigating your officer of this exact instance. At the end of that investigation, and you would give me a call and say,
I wouldn't.
who would?
It
And
would
no
be-
one?
It would be somebody from the Office of Professional Standards. Generally, if I am the investigator for my officer, I have already talked to the individual. And if there's any requirement for follow-up, then I will complete the follow-up for that individual, however it comes out. But in most cases, where it's, because we get a lot of anonymous complaints.
Yeah.
There is nobody to contact,
Right.
because they don't give,
Understandably.
cell
Oh, yes.
they
Yes.
don't give me anything. So
Right.
in my experience, I've never actually had to call anybody after the fact because there's nobody to call. So
Understandably.
and it's
Understandably.
not like-
Understandably so.
It's not like I
know?
get a lot of these every year.
Right.
It's a handful. And so my experience is, and even though I've been here a long time, my experience is not necessarily the same as for somebody who supervises detectives or traffic officers, or, I mean, it's all dependent on the individual situation. And so I can't tell you exactly how things turn out as
Well-
far as post-contact, post-investigation contact. I can't, because that would be like me telling you that a detective will be calling you tomorrow. I
Oh,
can't
no,
do
no,
that
no,
because it's
no, I'm not asking that,
Yeah.
okay? Let me try to make more clear what my question was, because I don't think I did make it clear at all, and I apologize.
Well, whoever the investigator is.
Whoever
I
it is,
think
whoever.
Whoever it is, I can't speak to what steps they
Right.
will take when or if.
Yes,
And so I can't probably tell you when somebody will contact you or if somebody will contact you. Because,
if, not even if?
well,
Would that not be
I-
standard?
I-
Could you write on the
I can't
bottom
say-
that I would like to be contacted at the end of the investigation?
yeah, I can
to-
write that in, but
Please, because my next question was, can we find out? Other departments have told me, say if an officer will not ID, they say, we counseled them, that it is policy, he was found in the wrong, we gave him a verbal counseling. I've also had an officer get suspended without pay. and they tell me the outcome. And that's my question is, for when I want to be
Well, you've
contacted.
got a lot more experience with this than I do, because,
Oh.
like I said, I get a handful of complaints that I investigate
Yeah.
in a given year.
So you just never had to take it that far?
I've never had to take it that far. I mean,
Yeah, okay,
if I got something that stated in the summary, the investigative summary that said, subject would like to be contacted to close the investigation, then obviously I would
You're
make
like,
a call.
yeah, okay,
But if it stated that and there was no address, phone number, email, no way for me to do so, then I would just note in the report that
of course,
I have no capacity
definitely.
to meet this requirement, so.
What I'm wondering, and I know you're gonna tell me you don't know the answer, but I do wanna know, I'll contact someone else, but tell me if you know. Okay, say if the officer, a fictitious officer, didn't ID and was found to be in fault for not IDing, and they gave him a verbal counseling, and then they did call me back and say, yes, that was true. Now, can I public record request that officer, that information from them? Do you know that? Do you know if I can?
You can always request anything. You can always request anything.
But-
You're asking somebody who doesn't.
You don't
This
know.
isn't what I do for a living, right?
I got you. But it's worth a try me asking.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to ask me how general sessions court works, or,
I have no clue.
how to file petitions on a juvenile or something,
Yeah.
I could tell you that. You're talking about a part of this.
That you don't know.
Yeah, you need to talk to somebody who deals with public records requests or things like that, because I never even see those things.
Hey, do me a favor. Would you please put it on there? I would love for them to go ahead and contact me, like within like a day or two, to answer these simple questions before they do their investigation of simply how they handle it. Will I have to do a public records request to find out the outcome, or will they inform me of the outcome, or will they follow up with a phone call, and how they handle it? Because they could tell me that and find no fault with the officer at all. But that way I would know, because I would come back and do a public record request about his conduct and what was in his file, if that's something I can do, if they didn't tell me when they contacted me. So I would love that they call me within a day or two, just to answer those simple questions. So that requires no investigation.
Okay, so I don't miss anything. Going to be contacted to answer some questions. One is the public records request. How or
Will I have to request public record request to find out the outcome of what goes in his record?
Okay.
Or will they verbally tell me when they call, if they find him at fault? Will they tell me how they handled it with the officer? Those are the three.
I think the first one is one, right? Public records requests.
Will
you
I
make
have
a
to?
Public records request.
Right.
The outcome.
Right.
Okay, and then the second one was, again,
Okay. Will they tell me
the
if
disposition? Is that what you're asking?
if they find fault with the officer, will they tell me the fault they found and what they did about it?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it should be public record, but I don't know if his personnel file
Well, we call that
complaint
disposition.
should be.
We call that
Disposition?
Yeah. How the incident was disposed of.
So,
Same as,
so the disposition
yeah.
is the outcome. What I'm calling
Right,
outcome is
right,
disposition.
right.
Okay, I love learning new words, so I love the codify. I love that one. I'll use that a lot till I
You can
try
use
to get it.
classify, you can use.
Yeah, but I
that's all.
love learning words. I love learning, period. That's why I ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
So I
So
apologize
I've
for
got
that.
2 questions. Was there a third?
It was, will I have to file a public records request? Will they tell me the fault
Disposition, right,
found?
Right.
Will they tell me the punishment if he's found to be in fault?
Yeah, that's all in the disposition.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
And I would love for them to let me know that, like today or tomorrow, because that does not require investigation. That's just simple.
Well,
That's just a
I'm gonna
request.
write this up.
Okay.
And then submit it, and then it's gotta go into the queue for professional standards, and then they address things as they come in. So
Okay.
I can't tell you, it'd be like me telling you, at a crime scene, whether a detective is gonna call you.
I got you.
I don't control a detective, so I can't say.
I got you.
This, we're kind of segmented so that.
Compartmentalized, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
So I have my part,
Mm-hmm.
and then I turn it over to somebody else who's it's their part.
Yeah.
And they assign somebody who it's their part. And then they, I mean, which is, it's a kind of a good thing, because then you don't just have one person who is kind of the arbiter of everything.
You're exactly right.
So.
You're exactly right about that. I want to tell you how much I appreciate your kindness, your patience with me, your professionalism,
That's okay.
everything, because you were wonderful. And it's such a contrast when I was here before. And, this is, a public servant, and you are exemplifying that, in my opinion. And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. All right.
All right,
Thank you, sir. All right, I'll be on my way.
okay. I'll try to get this submitted as quick as I can.
Thank you, sir. I'm so glad I got to talk to you. It could have gone differently with someone else, of course. Hey, you too, sir. Okay, thank you. No, oh, yeah, it is. Okay, bye-bye. Awesome. Purely awesome.